In the following video, I'm about to make an error. If you can figure out the error, write it down for extra credit and give it in for homework tomorrow. Have a nice day!
What if it's some random person?
Bottom numbers must be the same. The denominators must be the same. So if I were to do 3/5 plus 8/9, can I add those together? No, I cannot. So there are 3 5s and there are 8 9s. I can't combine them together. It's like saying there are 3 cats and 8 elephants. Just means there are 3 cats and 8 elephants. So what can I do? Yes?
Times by each other.
Oh, you can multiply by, let's make them both the same. I'll ask, what number can 5 and 9 both fit inside? 45, not 40. So to turn that into 45, multiply that by 9. But if to turn that into 45, multiply that by 5. If I multiply that by 9, what should I do to the top?
Multiply by 9.
Multiply it by 9. If I multiply that by 5, what should I do to the top?
Multiply by 5.
Well, that's pretty simple. That becomes 27 plus 40. And the bottom, I'll just write down 45 once. What's 27 plus 40? Very good, 67. Wait a minute. I thought fractions are part of the whole. It looks like there's more than a part up here. 67 out of 45? I have to mix it up. A mixed number. Well, we know 45 out of 45 is one whole, correct? So this is obviously more than 45. So I know I'm going to have 1 for sure. To figure out my other fraction, well, the bottom number is 45. I just do 67, take away the bottom. I take away 45 because I turned that 45 into one whole. So I'm going to get rid of that 45 and put it there and write it as a whole number. 7 minus 5 is 2. So my final answer is 1 and 2 over 45. So when you have your top number bigger than your bottom number, they call that an improper fraction. It doesn't mean that the fraction is acting improperly. It's just that a fraction means part of the whole thing. Here we have more than the whole thing over the whole thing. So that is not proper. We just want part of the whole thing. 2 and 7/8. Actually, let's make it 12 and 7/8. Ooh. Minus 4 and 3/4. How am I going to do this problem? Yes? Turn the 12 into 7s? Ooh, I don't want to do that. Yes?
You just make the denominators the same.
All right, so you don't care about the whole numbers?
No.
All right, so let's just do this. We'll put the 12 minus 4 over there on that side. And then we're also going to deal with the fraction. So 7/8 minus 3/4. Well, I need common denominators here, yeah? So what can 8 and 4 both fit inside?
2. Wait.
Well, you multiply by 2 to make it into an 8. So they both fit inside of an 8, correct? Well, that's already an 8. So do I need to mess with it?
No.
Is that an 8?
No.
No, so I have to turn it into 8. How do I turn it into an 8?
Multiply by 2.
So if I multiply that by 2,
Multiply the top by 2.
so this becomes, well, what's 12 minus 4?
12 minus 4 is 8.
8. And then 7 minus 6 over 8. What's 7 minus 6?
1.
So your final answer is 8 and 1 over 8. So you deal with the whole numbers separately from the fractions.
Wait.
Yes, sir.
Wait, how did you get 1 though? 1 from...
What's 7 minus 6?
Oh, 1. Okay.
What if I have 8 and 1/4 minus 3, and we'll say 3/4? Just borrow 1 from this guy, and that becomes a 7. So I borrowed 4/4 from here, correct?
Yes.
Well, I got to put it somewhere. Where am I going to put it? Right here. What's 4/4 and 1/4?
5.
So basically, you're adding these two numbers here together. That's like a nice little shortcut way of doing that. Now I can subtract 7 minus 3 and 5/4 minus 3/4. What's 7 minus 3? What's 5 minus 3? Is that my final answer?
No.
I can simplify. Divide top and bottom by 2. 4 and 1/2. Now, if you don't want to deal with like borrowing and stuff, you just have to be good at keeping track. Now, watch this. This is an added bonus. I did it already, but I'm going to do it again. So you can do 8 minus 3 and 1/4 minus 3/4. What's 8 minus 3?
4.
8 minus 3 is 5. If you have $1 and you take away, and you owe somebody $3, what do you end up with?
$2.
You end up negative 2 over 4. And you can simplify that, correct? So it's like saying 5 minus 1/2. What's 5 minus 1/2? Your final answer will be 5 minus 1/2 is 4.5. That's another way you can do that. We'll say 3 and 11 over 12 minus 4, oh, my bad, 4 and 7 over 9 minus 5 and 3 over 8. Oh, blast. What do I do here? I'm going to show you something a little different. Now, I just want you to watch. I want you to pay attention and watch this. Oh, silly me. And if you thought this video was very fascinating, especially this part right here, why don't you click one of these other videos? I'm sure I could fascinate you more. Here's my last video from yesterday, or from whenever you guys are seeing it in the previous day. And you can also subscribe to see more fascinating things from me. Have a nice day. And do your homework. You too.